Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Oh, this is really bright. One of these days, I'll figure out how to get this camera, the light, to look like the way I want it. But anyway, now it's too dark. Spin the light the wrong way. I can live with that. How's it going? How's everybody? How's everybody on this fine Sunday morning? All right. Good morning. Hey, we got What Geeks Do Network. Good morning on this fine Sunday. Just rolled out of Me Too. Me Too, as you can see, I'm all discombobulated. Hail all. Hail Marcus. How's it going, buddy? Dale A. Morning. Good morning. Pray to or good morning. Glad you caught the kitty. Oh, yeah. I might as well talk about that for a minute or two. All right. Let's get this. It's slightly off and it drives me nuts. There we go. Yeah. So the kitty updates, the kitty drama is I think I told the story before, but my house came with a feral cat, and I named it Smeagol, and it's a beautiful, beautiful cat. Oh my God, big green eyes, tan. It looks like an Ewok or something, and it's always sneaking around the house. I think that's its survival mechanism. It's a sneak. So I named it Smeagol. It's always hiding in the bushes, and just very recently, it's hanging out on the porch with us. I mean, we have a small porch, like a stoop. I guess a porch is a big thing, but a stoop is a small one. And like it won't let us pet it, but we'll reach down with our hands and it's like at the point now where it's sniffing our fingers. But it used to just run away if it saw a person. So whatever. That's besides the point. But I don't know, like a year ago, another cat just showed up. So we leave out food on the porch for Smeagol, and then it's a second cat, a little female cat, little skinny female cat, and it got pregnant. And next thing you know, there's three kittens in the backyard. We have an old deck that's fallen apart in the backyard. This house was bought it from the original owner, an old timer who passed away in the house, so not a lot of upkeep. So the deck, it's only a storm away from falling apart, a wooden deck. So underneath it, there's raccoons and all these animals, but there's a little small partition where the cat went and had its kittens, and you could hear them. So there was three little kittens, two black ones and a black and white, and a trapper came with the traps, caught the mommy right away, because she's always on the hunt for food. It must be a lot of effort to feed kittens. So she got caught right away. And then the kitten, we were like, we got to get these kittens. So we caught two of them. And then the third one just we couldn't catch it. I couldn't sleep at night. I was just thinking about this poor cat all night long. And I didn't want to say anything to my wife. I didn't want her to get upset, but lo and behold, she's up all night crying and thinking about this poor kitten. So my wife asked the trapper, what can we do? I told you we got raccoons in the traps. I had to go out and release the raccoons. That was an adventure. So then my wife asked the trapper, and she said, play cat noises on your phone. So I went on YouTube, and the first thing that came up was how to attract kittens, and it was like mother noises. So I just played it, and I sat on we've loaded up because this poor kitten now hasn't eaten in 2 days because it's not venturing forth to get food, and the mother's been captured. The mother will be back tomorrow, by the way. She was sick. They dewormed her. They fixed her, gave her shots, clipped her ears, so she'll be back living with us, and that's fine. She can live with us forever outside in the backyard. But the kitten just hasn't been eaten because it's still suckling from the mother, so it must have been starving. So we set up the cage. And I just sat in the chair. My wife went to go take a shower, and I was watching the cage. Then I started scrolling Twitter. Next thing you know, I'm posting comic book stuff, and I hear clack, and we caught it. Cute little guy. So I picked it up, brought it in the garage, and then we just filled up the cage with as much food because this poor guy has. And it was tiny little guy. So it just was in the food dish, just eating, and the trapper brought it back to the rescue sanctuary, and she said it's with the other three. It's with its mommy and the siblings. They're all just in the same area recouping. and she said they have no problems getting these little guys adopted. They're perfectly healthy. They're perfectly cute. So there you go. There's the cat saga. Yep, pussy problems. They're all over. Pussy problems are over now. Black cats are good luck. I love black cats. They're so cute. So cute. Heroic Tales Indiegogo. Yes. Uh, uh, Marcus is absolutely right. I'm trying to find my campaign here, but I just wanted to show. There we go. There we go. Oh, I'm in the I'm in my. Oh, you guys can't even see. But anyway, uh, there we go. All right, that's what I wanted to show. All right, so I'll share that. I don't want to show the behind the scenes because then you get my banking information and all that stuff. But there you go. This is my campaign. It's on Indiegogo right now. We got 4 backers. The big thing, everybody says you got to go on it. So this is my experiment. You know, I wanted to go on Fund My Comic. I wanted to go on Kickstarter, and I wanted to go on Indiegogo and see which one was the best for me. It looks like Fund My Comic is the best for me. I offered a variant cover for each site. So on the Indiegogo, we got the Mike Gustovich cover. So look at that glorious cover. Look at that. The coloring came out so good. That's Mike Gustovich, the legendary creator of the Justice Machine. I think he drew the Justice League for a while. I'm trying to think what he's working on Crom the Destroyer right now for RJ. Yay, Tim Hortons coffee. And I just, it's just glorious. Look at that. Everything else is the same. I just wanted to offer a unique cover for each of the formats. So that's that. And what else did I want? Oh yeah, I wanted to show this. I will share my screen. There we go. And I will show this. This is Fund My Comic. Oh, this is Fund My Comic. We got 215 backers here. Bunch on Kickstarter. And there's the Pat Broderick cover. It's still available. Still available on Fund My Comic. But I wanted to show this. Michael T. Gilbert cover is now available on Fund My Comic. You know, the Pat Broderick cover, I said, was exclusive to Fund My Comic. But these, you know, are being brought over. It's a little secret. The Michael T. Gustovich cover will end up, and everything is going to end up on Fund My Comic, because I think Fund My Comic is going to be my home for now on. I don't even think I'm going to bother with the other formats when I do my future campaigns. You know, this too is a learning experience. Hey, Courtney, how you doing? How's everything? You got to come on here and we'll talk about punk rock. That'll be a lot of fun. Talk about your experiences with punk rock. Hey, Courtney, if you like Agnostic Front, here's an interview with Vinny Stigma and Howie Abrams this afternoon. Oh, okay. On your channel? Or no. Cool. I wish we had trappers here. You have to pay like $150 to catch and release a stray, and traps are $10 a day. Well, this is a volunteer. And we made it clear that I was out of work. You know, this is what? This is my 7th week, no pay. And I am going to donate. You know, I'm going to donate. I'm going to donate as much as I can. When bills get caught up, you know what I mean? I think what they did is important. This woman was really nice, really helpful, really concerned. They're doing surgery on a cat. You know, a female cat, to get fixed is I think a bigger deal than a boy cat. You know, and they're giving them medicine. All that has to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? So I will be donating. The insurance company said that I should be getting my back pay as of last Thursday and Friday. It hasn't happened yet. You know, the little bit of disability that I'm getting is keeping it so I can pay my mortgage. You know what I mean? But you know, my wife works too. But the way car insurance, car payments. We all know things are rough these days. Things are rough. Hey, Richie Dupe, how you doing? I love that, The Prisoner. He did a bunch of issues for G.I. Joe. Who are we talking about? Did I miss something? Did I miss Stipley? Who did a bunch of issues for G.I. Joe? I missed something. Loving the Star Wars picks. They only made 3 movies. Absolutely, they only made 3 movies. There's only 3 Star Wars movies, and the Bad Christmas special. Yes, I'm coming up. Cool. Courtney, you have Twitter, right? You have Twitter? Message me on Twitter. No, it's on New York. Oh, okay. You posted on X. I'll check it out then. I'll check it out. We got Creators Outlet. I think that's a new name. I don't think I recognize your name. Hail Nerds. Thank you. Hail you. Hail Nerds too. Hail everybody. My younger son is learning on how. I hope he's a vet, not just like an amateur guy who just I'm on disability. It sucks. You can't live on it comfortably. Yes. Mike G with his bad breath onion rings. No, I'm wrong. It was Mike Vostong. Okay. All right. I'm all caught up. So, make a long story short, I got Heroic Tales is available on 2 formats right now. I think I'm done with Kickstarter for good. I think I'm only going to do Fund My Comic. Oh, guys. My buddy Roy, if you're watching, thanks. That was good time. He invited me to his house for a barbecue, and I was up all night long. I only went to sleep after they trapped the cat and came and took the cat. So yesterday I only slept from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then went to the barbecue too. So I was sleepy and groggy and not at my best. But I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about this poor kitten, and I got these cards made, the QR code to Fund My Comic. And I took them all out of my wallet when Fund My Comic closed down because I forgot to put it in demand. So these cards were all useless. So I took them out of my wallet. And then Luke put it back. He messaged me. He goes, how come you're not in demand? And I'm like, because I forgot to do it. And he goes, I could change it. So he put it in demand for me. Again, you don't get that service on any other format. The guy messages you. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I thought I messed up. I was going to wait till issue 2. He goes, boom, it's in demand again. So these cards are good, but I forgot to put in my wallet. So I went to this party, and I got there late. I got there at 3:00. Everybody else got there too. So when I got there, everybody was eating and everything. And everybody's like, oh, this is the guy that's making his own comic. So Roy had gone around and told everybody, and I should have realized because Roy is a Warhammer 40K guy. He's into role-playing games and everything like that. I don't know if he's I don't think he's into comic books as much, but everybody else there. I told you there's a game store. You could walk to a game store from my house over here. The owner of that game store was there. We were talking comic books. Man, it was a lot of fun. And I didn't have my cards to hand out because I took them out of my wallet. Oh, missed opportunity. And here's Zach Guy with the drive-by blessing. I'm also glad that you got that kitty saved. Yeah. I put a picture of the last kitty on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I think I put it up yesterday. Big blue eyes. That's how young they are. And the vet said that they're all healthy and they're all eating and they're all they're feral cats outside in the backyard living in the same area as raccoons. So they had some flea bites, but other than that, they're fine. So let's check out Star Wars. This camera is like so mobile. You could put it in any position. It's cool, but at the same time, I can never get it like square. Like does this just look a little askew? Also, the basement is a little askew, but I like the lines. Okay, let's talk comics for a second. My comic book is being lettered. Bill just sent me the first page lettered just to approve his process, how it looks. Oh my God, it's a comic book. Once you see pages lettered, you can see colors, you can see pages drawn, you could see pages colored, but once you see pages lettered, it's a comic book. So it's fun. I've been sending them to a couple of my friends, so it's really exciting, to the point now. If anybody wants to put a letter in the letters page, now is the time, because Bill is once he's done lettering, which should be by next week, he's gonna do the inside cover credits and then the letters page. So yeah, I got another guy to do pre-press, because I talked to 3 different guys, but they're just busy at the moment. One guy, the first guy, he said he would definitely do it, but right now he's like, oh man, right now is a bad time. He's doing so much. He goes, I'll be able to do it in 2 months, and I can't wait. Another guy said he's doing conventions, and when that's done, I can't wait. Third guy never got back to me, and the fourth guy, he said he could do it. So there you go. So that's I want to do it. You know what I mean? Start shipping before I go back to work. I'll be home, so I could do it all. If anybody in the chat has already fulfilled and they have any tips, like, what do I go to Pirate Ship, download all this stuff? I talked to a few people who fulfilled campaigns before. If anybody in the chat has fulfilled a campaign already, just reach out, give me some tips. That's the part that I'm a little, to tell you the truth, I'm more nervous about the pre-press and printing than I am for fulfilling. I'll get the fulfilling done, whether it's the most efficient way or not. I'll get it done. But the pre-press and the printing, I'm laying awake at night. Okay, so other stuff. The script for issue 2 is done. There's 2 stories in issue 2. There's the Mary Sue story that Renzo wanted first, because he wanted to draw a cute girl. So that got sent to Renzo. He's, I think, halfway done with that story. The Patriarch story was just sent to Renzo the other day. I don't even think he read it yet, because he's finishing up the Aaron Sparrow stuff, and then he's going back to Mary Sue. I said, go finish up the Aaron Sparrow. That's closer to deadline. So that's what he did, rather than kill himself. The guy's got a family. So anyway, that's going on. Meantime, this is going pretty fast. I'm working on a side project called Eddie is Doomed. Now, I'm not going to do your boy Zach, because I'm not going to do your boy Zach and do the flagship comic Heroic Tales and then follow it up with an artsy fartsy thing. No. So this is my plan. Heroic Tales #1. It's almost done. It's get lettered, blah 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 blah. So we're all caught up in that. Then, as soon as I'm done with fulfillment, as soon as the last package is done, I'm gonna do the campaign for issue #2. And get that done. And then we're gonna keep working on Eddie is Doomed until I'll probably have Eddie is Doomed concurrently with Heroic Tales, because as soon as Heroic Tales #2 is fulfilled, I'd like to start doing Heroic Tales #3. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to have Heroic Tales. As soon as it's done, start the next one. As soon as it's fulfilled, start the campaign for the next one. But I don't think people are going to get upset if I have a second campaign. I'll ask again when it gets closer to that. So, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one Heroic Tales constantly, like either the campaign's going, and then when that is fulfilled, the next campaign goes, and just keep going like that. And then and then maybe one side project at a time, because I got 3 ideas for side projects, and because I'm a lunatic, all the side projects are somehow going to be connected to Heroic Tales. The Heroic Eddie is Doomed is about a comic book fan in 1986 who reads top comics, and top comics are the comics that exist in the world of Heroic Tales. So, and I even have ideas set in the Eddie is Doomed setting, because I'm not going to say world, because it's also the Heroic Tales world after that. But let's see, I got ideas. It's getting the ideas into reality that is the fun and challenging and expensive things. Hey, my friend Jimmy, check it in. New cover looks great. Can't wait for the other issues. This is my friend Jimmy. Jimmy is I met third grade. Geez, third grade. We were just talking yesterday how that we're old enough to say that we've known somebody for like 40 years. 40 years. So if you met in third grade, that's 8. So 8 years old. 56 minus 8, 48 years. Holy mackerel, Jimmy. 48 years we've known each other. No, 38 years. 38 years. So there you go. And Jimmy has been there for all of my role playing, in one way or another, except for when I moved to Albuquerque. So he knows all the stories. Half the stories were inspired off of ideas I bounced off of him. Just yesterday, I chewed his ear off telling him future stories, future issues. I think Jimmy knows like all the scripts up to 6 or 7, and then I'd like Jimmy to write a story based on one of his characters. And when it's time to do that, we'll flush that out more. Torchbearer Studios. Oh, so you agree with my plan? At Torchbearer Studios, he has his comic called the Thug. When you're ready for that, come on in and promote. And people saying hello, Jimmy, hello, Marcus, and let's talk about Star Wars. So there we go. So if anybody could chime in, Torchbearer Studios already says sounds like a plan about my publishing schedule. So let's talk Star Wars. So this is issue number 2. Like I always say, I got irrationally upset by these comics because they didn't match the movies. Now, I got the comic books before the movies, and I read them and read them and read them. I was one of like the last kids in my neighborhood to see Star Wars. Everybody saw Star Wars before me. I think I saw it like a second run theater, but I loved it. And then there was a movie theater by me, Baldwin Movie Theater, that played it every day. I saw it for like $1. I think during the summer I scraped up $1 and just went to go see Star Wars. The number that sticks out of my head is I saw Star Wars 28 times in the movie theater. That's how much I loved it. And then when I came back and looked at the comics, I didn't like the comics because they were different than the movie. I color corrected them with magic markers, either threw them away or gave them away. So this is a recent rebuy. I have reprints like that I got in dollar bins, but I wanted the first prints because I'm a lunatic. So here it is from my comic shop, Star Wars number 2, very fine, 7.5. So yes, very transparent. This is not this. I don't have my off the rack when it came out comic. That is probably disintegrated into molecules. But these are the things that bothered me. Obi-Wan's lightsaber wasn't red. Luke didn't fight in the bar. Luke was a wuss in the bar. Just things like that. Luke Skywalker strikes back. Swing that lightsaber, Ben, or we're finished. Although it's a pretty good cover. Pretty good cover. Let's check it out. Did you guys see these comics? Let me know who's seeing these comics for the first time. We got this Gandalf Products. Oh, wow. I never noticed that before. It's Gandalf Products. So this is August 1977. 6 Against the Galaxy. So we got Roy Thomas, scripter, editor, Howard Chaykin, illustrator, Steve Lailiola, embellisher and colorist. So he's embellisher means whatever it says embellisher, that's a little bit more than an inker. So Howard must have just did like basic layouts, and then Steve Laiola finished. So here we got the Sand People over here. Luke's laying there. This, guys, do you remember the scene when the Sand People jumped up and hit Luke? Scared the crap out of me. Scared the crap out of me. I saw Star Wars hungover in Spain. You were hungover when you were like 6? Man, you got a drinking problem, Marcus. And, R2-D2. Oh, we can't see it. Okay, we got R2-D2 over here beeping, and then this mysterious stranger shows up. We got Ben. So far, this is just like the comic. No problem. No problems over here. You know, R2-D2 beeping. Luke. We got C-3PO with his arm broken. You know, this is exactly like the movie over here. You know, as I sneeze, I got to sneeze. Always happens. Always happens. You know, we got the Princess Leia hologram. So far, this is real comic book accurate. I mean, this is more accurate than I remember. I remember these comics to be just way off. The lightsaber even looks like the lightsaber. Oh, once I get to the bottom, I'll address the chat like I always do. Zachtan, my impression was that the EU books were fairly careful not to break the law, but the comic books were more loose. Yes. What is it, issue 7, where they introduced Jackson, the big green rabbit? Maybe the comics are in-use rebel propaganda. There you go. Jawa scared me. Same people scare you, and you still went 28 times. Yeah, well, after the first time you knew, right? After, but you know what, Torchbearer? Kids like to be scared, right? Kids like to be scared in like a safe environment. You put that's why all the best kids movies have really scary scenes, and kids watch them over and over and over again. You know what I mean? It's like kids get scared when it's not a safe environment, and they don't want that. But put on a movie, or you know what I mean, like, or you do that like rah, to a kid, and they get scared, and then they laugh. You know, oh, I was 15 on a summer school trip. Sounds fun. That sounds fun. Getting drunk in Spain, watching Star Wars. That sounds like Jack Kerouac. That sounds awesome. Dad got the Showtime wrong. We walked in just as Luke is attacked. Very memorial moment. Oh man, yeah. Just like I went to go see American Beauty, and I walked in on the scene of the flowers falling on the ground. I thought I was waiting for the credits. I missed like 30 minutes of the movie, but that wasn't my fault. It was playing in 2 theaters, and they sent me to the wrong theater. People enjoy being scared. Otherwise, yes, good point. Yes, people like to be scared in a safe environment. You know, good point about the horror movies, right? Otherwise, horror wouldn't be as popular as it is. Here we got Joe Weider. I always say Joe Welder, but it's Joe Weider. Build better body. You know, I always love it. Like, Joe, how did you get that body? You know, you didn't use traditional weights. You know, so here you got the lightsaber, but it's red. You know, your father's lightsaber, the formal weapon of a Jedi Knight. The Jedi Knights were guardians of peace and justice, the old Republic. How did my father die, Ben? I'm just want to see how different the dialogue is. He was betrayed and murdered by a young Jedi named Darth Vader, a boy I was training, one of my brightest disciples and greatest failures. Darth Vader used the power of the Force for evil to help the Empire hunt down and destroy the last of the Jedi Knights. Vader was seduced by the dark side, and it consumed him. Yeah, such a lie. Such like this to me. That's pretty much. I don't remember, even though I saw the movie in the theaters that many times. I don't remember word for word the dialogue, but Ben is lying right here. Ben is absolutely right. Luke Vader was not, you know, but then again, he was, because there was only 3 movies. Well, actually, no, because we find out that he's Anakin later on in the 3 movies. But he's lying, you know. He was betrayed and murdered by a young Jedi named Darth Vader. Vader was never a Jedi. He was a Sith. You know, it's all lies. It's all lies. You know, that's why I don't like the Jedi that much. They're no better. They use deception. They use lies. You know, you know. And you're to come with me to Alderaan. I need your help, Luke. I'm afraid I'm getting too old for this sort of thing. You know, this is all pretty good. I mean, we even the face of Carrie Fisher but here, look at this. In the movie, there's a big circular thing with all needles, but look at this comic. It's almost like this female looking droid over here. Wow, I haven't noticed that in forever. And here they are. They see the Jawas all burnt up. That would have led them back home. So we'll do that, and then I'll adjust the chat. It just jumped. Where is it? When I saw American Beauty, they assembled the reels in the wrong order. I was so confused. Oh my God, that's good. Yeah, it was playing in two. It was a multiplex, and it was playing in two theaters. So I think I went in like a half hour late. Just so mad. The last good horror, and I've never seen it. I've never went back and saw it from the beginning. The last good horror movie was like Event Horizon. Horror movies have been a joke. Oh, Event Horizon. I love that movie. Oh my God. I saw that in Seattle when I went to go visit my friend Sean. I loved it. It wasn't the best movie. It was very flawed, but it was just such a good premise. That is a movie I wish would get remade, like with respect and panache. That is such a good premise. Like, I really, really like it, to the point you might see some elements of Event Horizon in Heroic Tales at some point. Blatant ripoff stuff. Yeah, I think kids like jump scares, the lingering horror of something truly. Yes. You know, existential horror and stuff, but the jump scares and things like that, like stuff we see in Star Wars. You know, nothing in Star Wars is horror. Things in Star Wars are scary. There's a difference between scary and horror. Okay, most horror movies are just gore fest. They promote super demonic and satanic stuff in the movies. Just, yeah, I agree. To me, the scariest horror movie is Rosemary's Baby, and I'm not even talking about the possession and Satan and stuff. Remove the Satanism. What gets me about Rosemary's Baby is the betrayal. This woman trusts her husband, and then everybody's in the conspiracy. That kind of stuff scares me. You know, but you know, the whole satanic stuff is whatever. I saw the original at the Strand movie theater in Astoria, first run. It's all true from a certain point of view. We talk about Obi-Wan lying, Obi-Wan's lies. Also, Ben was NBC. Anakin was mostly peaceful. It was a mostly peaceful murder of Anakin. The Jedi are squares. Yeah, the Jedi are hypocrites. The Jedi are hypocrites, and what they believe is nonsense. Star Wars is Gnosticism, and Gnosticism, good and evil are the same thing. The Jedi and the Sith are essentially the same thing, because neither can give an account of why anything is good. To me, the biggest problem with the Jedi is they don't hold themselves to their own beliefs. You know, and that's all from the second movie, the prequels, which don't exist. So why am I even talking about it? You know, but remember, folks, we hated the prequels when they came out. We hated the prequels so much they made a movie called The People versus George Lucas. They pestered George Lucas so much that he washed his hands and sold it to Disney. So all of a sudden now, like, the prequels, we hated the prequels. So I hated the prequels. I saw 2 of the 3 sequels, and I'm done. I don't watch any of the TV shows. Yes, I agree with you 100%, Servo. But I just realized I can't argue, because this stuff didn't happen, because there's only 3 Star Wars movies. The art is much better in this issue. Absolutely. The Jedi were more stoics. Were they stoics? I got to say that my knowledge of this stuff is fading as I don't talk about it and I don't research as like I used to. I used to love this kind of stuff. I think I might have a sequel to Event Horizon. Yes, a sequel. Yeah. A sequel that explores those themes. Now somebody goes looking for that ship. I think, yeah, that's a good idea. The background of Rosemary's Baby is pretty well cultivated. That movie. Oh, really? I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Polanski was involved in all of those nonsense people. I think originally Ben was telling the truth, but the plot twist was yes, yes. I Zach Tan, I think you're 100% right. I think this was the only Star Wars movie that George Lucas had in mind. You know, this was the end all be all. Leia was just a woman that Luke rescued. That's why they kissed. Luke's father was killed by Vader. Although Uncle Owen does say that, you know, he has a lot of his father in him, and he goes, "That's what I'm afraid of." But I chalk that up to you know, Luke's father being too idealistic and prone to adventure, rather than Uncle Owen knows that he's Vader. So that's what I believe. I believe that this was all Lucas thought, and that it was such a phenomenon he had to expand on it. And you know, just too many inconsistencies, too many problems that for my comfort. I mean, I love the original 3 Star Wars movies, but they are greatly flawed. And the biggest flaw is the scripts, you know, more than anything else. You know, Lucas was internally inconsistent with the facts, fast and loose with the continuity. Good morning, John and Chet. I still hate the prequels. You and me both. There's only 3 Star Wars movies. There is a prequel to Rosemary's Baby coming out soon. It's called Apartment. Really? Really? I'll see it, and it'll probably scare me. Like I said, Eyes Wide Shut scares the crap out of me. It's a terrible movie. I love the whole conspiracy theory behind that movie, but I just think it's. I don't believe in the occult much, you know, but I believe that people believe in the occult, so it amounts to the same thing. You know, there are people down in tunnels sacrificing to their whatever, you know, doing whatever it is, these horrible things. They're doing it, whether or not that thing exists or not is a whole nother ball of wax that I don't want to get into. But so the whole conspiracy of Rosemary's Baby and Eyes Wide Shut, that scares me. Like, I don't know, that kind of stuff scares me. And again, Rosemary's Baby, you could take out the whole real satanic baby stuff, but there are cults. There are people that manipulate people. Like Charles Manson was real. The whole Jim Jones thing was real. The whatchamacallit, the killers in the Doomsday Cult, the Hell Pops, you know, those people exist. That kind of stuff scares me, you know. And then groupthink, you know, look what the Nazis did. They were all horrible. Love the extended universe book. I never read it. I never read it. To me, Star Wars was 3 movies. I know the book. I'm real curious to read the Splinter in the Mind's Eye book. I'm real curious to see how that. Rereading Dune, I realized how badly Herbert got ideas stolen by Luke. See, I tried to read Dune. I just don't like it. You know, I just don't like it. I didn't see these new movies. I saw the Lynch movies. I didn't like them. I just don't like Dune. I don't know. It's just the setting. And I know they're probably really good. I know they're meaningful. I just don't like them. So here we go. Let's turn the page. And I agree, the art is so much better in this issue. I wonder if they saw what Chaykin did in the first issue and they're like, we got to up the game. You know, this is too important. So we got the land speeder. You know, no corpses of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. He just laying. How grisly was that? That was shocking for all ages kids show. Yeah. Your grandma talking, looking like Tilda Swanson over here. You know, they're burning the bodies. Yes, this is a pretty movie accurate. I mean, geez, look at this. This is like a still right from the movie right here. The only thing is this stormtrooper had that orange shoulder pad. What was that? That orange shoulder pad, was that like showed that he was good for the sand, or was it rank? You know, because he only saw that one orange over here. Was it a replacement? That kind of stuff I'm kind of fascinated with. You know, this, oh my God. Tell me when you saw this in the movies, you didn't think it was the coolest thing that he was using that power. And here they go, walking around, going into the bar, and we'll stop here and let me address the chat. Apartment 7A. That's the name of the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. I gotta check it out. There are a bunch of good things about the prequels. They were not as good as the originals, but they didn't deserve as much hate as they got. The actors certainly, no, the actors. I don't blame any of the actors for any of the movies. People who were going after Daisy Ridley and whatever that is, or the Marie Tran, is that her name? That was ridiculous. Because if you were a young 20s actor and they said you're going to be in a Star Wars movie, you're doing it, and you're going to jump through hoops, and you know what I mean? Because that's it. You're in Star Wars. You gotta do it. My blame solely, and I don't even blame Lucas. I blame the producers. The studio. Did Lucas have a boss? Did Lucas have somebody that could have put the clamp down on him? Because if not, then I blame Lucas. I don't know. Did you see Midsummer? That was a scary call. Yeah, that's the movie that made Florence Pugh the Hollywood darling. I want to see it. Who's the director for that? That is the kind of movie that scares me. So yes, I want to see it, but I'm a little wary of seeing it because that is the kind of movie that scares me. My dad loves Dune and rereads it every few years. Your dad seems pretty cool. He was at the comics. He reads Dune. That's pretty cool. My dad really wasn't into science fiction. My dad. But I think my dad's older. My dad's long gone, but I think my dad was older than your dad. Or is older than you. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, because your dad's still around. Like the movies, books, comics up to Disney movies. It was good entertainment. Okay. I read the Darth Bane series and enjoyed it. He started the Rule of Two. Okay, I never read any Star Wars except for these comics. The first Dune book is a masterwork. Lucas and others should have been sued for years, directly ripped off so many concepts. I feel the same way about the Lensman. You read the Lensman, you're going to be like, oh my God, everything ripped off the Lensman. Star Wars, Green Lantern, superheroes. The Lensman was the first space opera before Flash Gordon and before Buck Rogers, if I remember correctly. I always thought the shoulder pad indicated a heavy gunner. Okay, there you go. I knew it meant something. It wasn't just there, for no reason. There was a Rosemary Baby grows. Yes, with Tina Louise. Yes, Tina Louise was in it. Whatever happened to Rosemary's Baby? I don't think concepts get copyright protected. Okay. What concepts are we talking about? Anything specific? Rosemary Baby still creeps the hell out of me. Yeah. To me, it's that movie scares me. And even though I usually supernatural doesn't scare me because it doesn't exist, like I'm talking about like jump scare stuff like that, that always scares you because you don't expect it. But like things that just like stick with you and give you like horror, Rosemary's Baby, that because conspiracies do exist, whether or not they're occult conspiracies, scientific conspiracies, political, whatever, conspiracies do exist, and that scares the crap out of me. But the other movie that scares me is The Exorcist. I don't think the devil is jumping out possessing little girls, stuff like that. But that movie is just a masterpiece, and it's so freaking scary. And then Night of the Living Dead, the original black and white one. Oh man, that movie just scares me. It's just masterfully done. And I as much as it's Return of the Living Dead, that I don't know. There's something about those zombie hopelessness in Night of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead. The hopelessness in those movies just scares me. Midsummer is directed by Ari Aster. Okay, I thought it was somebody else. Okay, I got to check it out. I saw Late Night with the Devil the other. I wanted to like it. I let me put it this way. I loved the first half of the movie. I was really disappointed by the second half of the movie. If anybody saw Late Night with the Devil, even because I love that concept. Oh my God, that was such a good concept. And then it just turned schlocky in the second half of the movie. Even geniuses run the risk of becoming self-referential and subsequently unable to critically examine their ideas. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I read the extended universe novels in the 90s and loved them as a teen. Okay. Everybody seems to like them. I didn't want to read them. Do the stormtroopers have combat medics? Good. They're kind of worthless because all you got to do is tap them anywhere on your body with a laser beam, armor or not, and they drop dead. But to be fair, we just saw them falling down and we assumed that they were dead. For all we know, they got up again 10 seconds later. All right, so let's go to the next page. I remember these. I had the Spider-Man one. And what these were, that you strap them onto your wrist and you push the button and it fired a suction cup with a string. So the only one that made sense was Spider-Man. You pretended you have web shooters. What the hell did you have Hulk on it for? You know, what does that have to do with Hulk? You know, and Captain America. So I didn't want them. I had this too. It was like a little plastic. It was like a little, I don't know, like plastic strip with a Spider-Man image on it, and then plastic, like plastic bag material stuff with like stiffeners on it, and you pulled it back and you shot it. It flew like a paper airplane. It was cool. It's cool. And of course, I had the Spider-Man one, but it bothered me. I wanted the Superman one because Superman flies, not Spider-Man. There go, Wolldogger. He doesn't like you. I'm sorry. I don't like you either. Gatora Veshnak Shadrach. I'm still afraid. Don't insult us. We have the death sentence on 12 systems. Malich Madora. Gentlemen, this little one isn't worth it. Let me buy you Nagola Wolldogger. And then I love this. This face is excellent right there. And then Obi-Wan brings out a Sith laser beam sword and cuts him. You know, he didn't have a red sword. Boom. It just cuts him. You're right. This art is really good. This art is really good. And then, you know, the only thing is you don't see him handing the money, and you kind of see the arm over here. But that was pretty gory. That was pretty shocking to a little kid me. The first time I saw it, that cuts off the guy's arm. You know, again, Star Wars, all ages literature or all ages cinema, didn't pander to kids. It was scary. It was gory. You know, they showed corpses on fire. This and kids love it. Today we treat kids like, is there any wonder like society's breaking down? We kids are just catered to and treated like idiots. This is, I really like the way Chewbacca, I mean, it looks different than the movie, but this is an excellent drawing of Chewbacca. What a great panel that is. That is really good. Oh, so Zach says there was no combat medics. The Emperor was attacked like that. Does sound like something the Emperor would do. So we got Chewbacca over here looking huge. So this is interesting. We see R2 and C-3PO outside the cantina, and we see the stormtroopers arresting people. Now, I wonder, is that a scene that's on the editing room floor? Because I still swear that I have memories of scenes from Star Wars that aren't in the movie. Like, I always wondered, did that second run theater have like access to deleted scenes? Because I vividly remember scenes that aren't in the movie, unless there was like a TV special that showed them. I don't know. And then my mind just correlated them properly. And here we got Han Solo looking like a fat slob. He goes, I want to. Oh, look at this panel. This panel is excellent. This is right out of the movie. Holy mackerel! I'm just going to read these three panels and talk about this for a second. Okay. You're pretty handy with that saber, old man. I'm Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon. Chewie tells me you're looking for passage to the Alderaan system. If it's a fast ship. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. I've outrun Imperial starships, not the local bulk cruisers, mind you. These are the big Corellian ships I'm talking about. I think she's fast enough for you, old man. What's the cargo? Myself, the boy, 2 droids, no questions. No questions. Local trouble. Let's just say we'd like to avoid any Imperial entanglements. These days, that could be a real trick. 10,000 in advance. Okay, so this panel in particular, the Kessel Run. This is all nonsense. Han Solo is trouble. He's in trouble with the law. He's a drug smuggling trouble. What do you think spice is? He's not delivering oregano to pizzerias throughout the galaxy. He's shipping drugs. The Empire, they don't want drugs. And they must be bad drugs if the Empire doesn't want them. And he's dealing with Hutts. So he's dealing with the mafia to bypass law enforcement because he's a drug dealer. So he sees this old guy and he starts talking BS. It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. It sounds like nonsense because it is nonsense. He's just blowing smoke. And Obi-Wan knows that he's blowing smoke. So he's saying, I'm desperate. I'm going to stop BSing to him. Obi-Wan says, this guy is so desperate. This is exactly what he's not going to question anything. He's going to take us, without filling out paperwork, without going up. This guy is exactly what we need. And it's a game they're playing, and it's brilliant. It's so brilliant. I wonder if Lucas did it by accident. It's brilliant. And then to turn the Kessel Run into a real thing and explain it ruins this scene. This scene right here is all you need to know about Han Solo. This is the cake, and then the icing is when he kills Guido, and that's it. That's all you need to know. Han Solo is a bad dude in trouble, and he becomes good through this selfless act of rescuing the princess. There you go. Han Solo is a better character than Luke, and there you go. And now we got the Empire coming in. This scene is almost right out of the movie. There you go. Let's discuss what I just said about Han Solo. Okay. Do you remember the inflatable human shaped like Superman? I used to love flying that thing. Oh wow, I don't remember that. What did it have, like a little propeller motor and stuff, or did you just throw it and let it bob and weave on its own? Fat slob. That's just a blousey shirt. Yeah, I know. Not very flattering there, Harrison. There was also a novelization of Star Wars available when I was a kid. I don't remember. Yeah, there was everything about Star Wars. The first movie, yes, I know. It had scenes not in the movie. Yes. I wonder how much of Star Wars is just left on the floor. Even when you buy the DVDs, I'm sure they don't have the other scenes. Then we got Dr. Doom reading crazy. And now we got Guido. It's actual dialogue. It's not nonsense that Guido was saying, and then boom, he just shoots him. Han shoots Guido first. Han shot first. There you go. These 2 pages, that's all you need to know about Han Solo. Beautiful, perfect characterization. It's so good. It is awesome. Look at that guy's dumb face. They're both taking the measure of each other. One with BS, the other with discernment and experience. Yes, but they're both desperate. They're both desperate. Obi-Wan knows the system, because Obi-Wan knows that he's the most wanted guy in the galaxy. Vader wants him. Vader's been looking for him for 30 years. He can't get caught. Even Obi-Wan can't fight the entire Empire. Han is desperate because he's got all these warrants on him, and he's got to pay. He's got hitmen coming after him. He can't live like that. These are 2 desperate people. And what are they doing? Han says, I'm giving you a ridiculous amount of money. And then, I'm asking for a ridiculous amount of money. Obi-Wan's just like, okay, but you're going byways. We're not registering. We're not doing anything legal. We're going totally illegal. And this is what they're saying without saying it. It's such a brilliant scene. And then you see the Han Solo movie and they explain the Kessel Run. And it's like, dude, do you guys get how to write a script? Oh, obviously you don't. And then Han shot first. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It was like a kite. You inflated it, flew it like a regular. Okay, cool. I don't think I remember that then. Oh, off to church later, everyone. Okay. My wife goes to church on Saturdays. She likes it better. Then Sundays is our lazy day. Oh man, my wife is terminally shy. You'll never see her on the camera. She's just terminally shy. And I went to a barbecue yesterday, and I felt like a little kid. I got dropped off by mommy. She dropped me off, and then Jimmy drove me home. And it's the first time my wife has been alone in the house in a long time because I'm always here, and I'm allowed to drive, but I can't turn my head, and I got no place to go, and I'm trying not to spend money, so I don't drive. I drove once last week, and it was really stupid. But so she was home for the first time in the house by herself, and it's funny. Whenever she's home by herself in the house, she cleans. She was vacuuming. She blasted her music. And I keep telling her, you can do that. I'm down here. If I'm down here, I might as well not be home. She goes, not the same. Not the same. So let's turn the page. It's on. We got all of these creatures and stuff walking around. I love this guy. He's got a big fly head and boxer gloves. I love that. At some point, somewhere in Heroic Tales, I got to have a guy with a big fly head and boxer gloves. We got this creep following him around. And then look, there's Jabba the Hutt. There's Jabba the Hutt. Han, my boy, there are times of disappointment. Why haven't you paid me? Or why'd you have to fry poor Guido like that after all we've been through together? Jabba, the next time you got something to say to me, don't send one of your blaster happy twerps. Come see me yourself. Him is talking to Jabba the Hutt. So that's Jabba the Hutt. Now, I don't know. In the movie, they had like some big fat guy. But that's Jabba the Hutt. There you go. Jabba the Hutt. And then we got Darth Vader over here. Looking around. When she knows it has been destroyed, for once she will break. So this is kind of, I'm glad this scene got deleted, if there is a scene. They're telling them that they're going to blow up the planet anyway. So editing this scene out is really good because it was a shock when they blew up the planet. You didn't know if they were bluffing. You didn't know if they were really going to do it. And you didn't know if like, okay, well, we won't do it if you give us the information. But this just shows you that they're going to do it anyway. So it's better off that scene was removed from the movie. Oh, Zach-Tan's also leaving for church. What a hunk of junk. It's funny because I remember seeing that scene and looking at the Millennium Falcon. And at this point, because again, I was one of the last people to actually see Star Wars in the movie theater, I had seen the Millennium Falcon on commercials, toys. I thought it was the coolest spaceship ever. So this scene just didn't ring true to me. What a hunk of junk. What are you talking about? It's the Millennium Falcon. It's the coolest freaking spaceship in the world. It made the Kessel Run in 14 parsecs. Oh, they're shooting. Look at that. That's great. Like the shield Chewie, and they just blast off. And now they got, Star Destroyers going after him. Now this is, I think, like not so much a mistake, but as they knew that Star Destroyers were in the movie, but because the movie wasn't out yet, they didn't know the scale of the Star Destroyers. You know what I mean? So I just think this was like kind of oops. Look at that. It's just awesome. Right over here. That looks like the famous cockpit. There's no comments, so I'll just keep going. Madam Web. Look at this panel. I don't know. That panel is like, I'll keep my comments to myself. But some of you filthy-minded people could imagine what I was going to say. So we got, they're shooting at them. That's accurate, right? Because the Empire has green lasers, the rebellion has red lasers, things like that. And here they are. What's that? Strap yourselves in, make the jump to light speed. We're all floating for a second. And next issue, out of hyperspace and into the Death Star. That is just so cool. It's just so cool. And there you go. That's issue number 2. So I guess we'll finish the first movie of Star Wars, for the next couple of weeks on this. And you know what I was thinking? I'd like to show some of the Keith Pollard Thors at some point. Oh my God. Chef's kiss. Star Destroyers thrust vectoring in space. That's Madam Web. Yes, this is the first appearance of Madam Web. Yep. She got defeated by Twinkies. That's the first appearance of Madam Web. And then years later, they brought her back as an old lady. So it's the first use of the name Madam Web, but a different character. But I don't know. This design is a lot better than what eventually. So I don't know if this is owned by Hostess. I don't know that legality, but yep, that's Madam Web. Heroic Tales on Indiegogo. Yes, please. That Mike Gustovich cover. I just love that. Well, I love all the covers. You're asking me to pick, but I had to keep that one separate because it showed the bad guy. So now you know who the bad guy is. So there we go. You could go on Indiegogo and pick up the Mike Gustovich cover. And let me ask you guys' opinion. Was it a mistake to go on 3 different platforms? Because I'm starting to think like I had a lot of enthusiasm and momentum on Fun My Comic. And I'm just wondering if I had done all 4 covers on Fun My Comic originally, I bet you the original people would have bought all 4 covers. And I think, so I think I might have made a mistake doing the 3 different campaigns, or at least putting one cover on each platform, because a lot of people I don't like Kickstarter, or I already got the comic, and then like Indiegogo, I already got the comic. So I don't know. But all 4 covers will be available as a bundle when I do Heroic Tales 2. So there you go. Nice. Twinkies today, ate your grandma's Twinkies. It's funny because I still think they taste the same, but Ring Dings are definitely different. McDonald's is definitely different. Everything seems to taste different. I don't know if it's my taste buds changed, or if whatever the food recipes changed or whatever. But Twinkies are the one thing that still tastes the same to me. Each crowdfund site has their own markets. There's some crossover, but you can't limit to one. Yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to do going forward, and again, everything is a learning experience. I think I'm going to do just carbon copies on each platform. So I'm going to do Fun My Comic, boom, with everything, and then maybe at the same exact time do Indiegogo with everything, and forget Kickstarter, because Kickstarter, it just seems like that's like the place for boobies and sexy time comics. I do think there's a point that you do your fan base by going on all the platforms. See, so 2 completely different. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I made a tactical error by putting one cover on each platform, and then all that enthusiasm. People bought 2 covers on Fun My Comic. They were all excited, and they're like, I'm happy, I got what I want. And they didn't go to Kickstarter, and then they definitely didn't go to Indiegogo. So I'm thinking like next time, all the variants, boom, right there on Fun My Comic. And then if I do go to Kickstarter, it'll be the same exact stuff for those who just like Kickstarter, and then Indiegogo for those who just like Indiegogo. I think I might have made a mistake, but anybody on, you could get the Michael T. Gilbert cover now on Kickstarter, and you could get the Michael T. Gilbert cover on Fund My Comic. The only one I said was exclusive was the Pat Broderick. That one is only Fund My Comic, but the other ones are gonna flop back onto Fund My Comic in the future. Yeah, so when the Indiegogo is done, the Mike Gustovich cover will go on Fund My Comic also. I think it's different rewards for each site. Some people thought it was a good idea, but it doesn't. I mean, the Fund My Comic did $6,000. The Kickstarter did 1,000, and now I'm under 200 on Indiegogo. Granted, I got a month or two, but whatever. They may have changed that. Oh, you got to have something. Oh, doesn't Indiegogo require something unique on it? Well, look at the Alterna. Alterna does it on their own site and Indiegogo, and all you got to do is, like, I got approved in seconds. I built the campaign. You just click, boop, and then the next button is launch. So did they check Kickstarter? Did they kick everything? I don't know. I didn't keep up. I'm gonna have to do a deep dive. Yeah, I don't know. So there you go. You liking this? I think I'll do the first 6 issues. We'll do the whole Star Wars movie. So next Sunday, so we did 2 out of 6. We got 4 more Star Wars to do for the next month, and then I'm thinking this. Oh, okay. So let's talk about what's going on this month, this week rather. So I'm taking out my phone to look at my calendar. Oh, I have nothing planned this week. I have no schedule. I have nothing scheduled. I have a full open week. So if anybody is interested in coming on and talking, Wednesday at 8:30, I'll be on RG's channel for a comic book team up, and then Friday I have It's Clobbering Time, and we're going to do the Beyonderverse Q, and then Sunday Comics. But I don't have any conversation scheduled this week. So there you go. All right. I'm going to shut this down. And my wife and I are going to go to Lucia's. Or I always forget if it's Lucia's or Lucia's, my favorite place. We're going to go at 1 o'clock. Jimmy, if you're going to meet us there or not. And I'll see you guys later on. This week I might do my hand solo, and I might do Comics Great because I don't have many conversations scheduled. So I'll put on Twitter, open call for people who want to do talks. All right. Bye-bye.